Good afternoon, folks. Gorgeous afternoon, huh? Perfect weather so far. Anyway, let's get started. First item is the pledge. Stand up and recite the pledge, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are we good now? Okay. First item is, second item, I should say, correspondence. Any correspondence at this time?
Yes, we do have correspondence. Mark Richardson will not be heard. Request to continue to the June 18th meeting?
Okay, do you need a motion for that?
No.
No, okay, so that case is continued to June 15th?
18th.
18th, okay. Okay, the other cases are public hearing cases. I have to read the rules of conduct, so bear with me. A public hearing before the board, the petitioner or respondent shall first present the facts and arguments in support of the case. Those who oppose the petitioner shall follow. The petitioner shall have rebuttal time at the conclusion of those opposing the petition. Those opposed shall then be allowed a total maximum of 10 minutes to rebut any new statements made by the petitioner in its rebuttal. It should be within the discretion of the board to impose any time limitation on either the petitioner or respondent and to limit public comment to those determined by state statute to the interested parties. Written remonstrance shall be accepted by the board but need not to be read into the board's record. This then concludes the public hearing. To maintain orderly procedure, each side shall proceed without interruptions by others. All materials presented by the petitioner or remonstrators or supporters to the petition, including photographs, shall become property of the board, part of the record. Okay, with that, the first case is DV-2024-26. The applicant is Jeff Ballone.
Close enough.
Ballin, I'm sorry, Ballin. About Ballin, I'm sorry. I see below Ballin, okay. Location is 466 South 300 East, Valparaiso, Morgan Township. Zoning is A1 and acreage 2.5. Request to allow an increase in maximum floor area for a proposed 30 by 70 pole barn used for personal storage. Okay, sir.
Good morning.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, thanks for letting me come before the board. So simply put, I just want to put a 30 by 70 pole barn up. Half of that, a little over half of that's going to be used for boat storage that I own instead of paying yearly winter rentals. And then the other one is going to be used for, I'm going to have it divided up into stalls to give birth to cattle. I own some cattle. Currently, I rent pasture in another location, and I want to be able to, when they give birth during the months of April and March, have them there where I could watch them on site, let them mature a little bit, and then send them back out to the pastures.
All right, okay. It's a public hearing, so I have to ask, anybody wants to speak in favor of this case? Seeing none, anybody want to speak against or any questions? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Okay. You have several large pole barns in the area. Of course,
Yes.
right behind you is a large facility, as
Yes.
you know. So I don't see issue with the character.
No.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
on A1, which
Yeah,
he doesn't have 10 acres, which is usually required in A1 zoning, so.
yeah.
But he has enough room. He's still following setbacks. He just needs the size increased a little bit.
So from 30 to 70 feet, okay. How many feet will he be over on total feet, square feet?
For the pole barn,
Yeah,
Is it 30?
is it 30?
30
Maybe.
by 70?
Well, the pole barn I want to build is 30 by 70.
Yeah.
I believe that the size was either going to be 30 by 40 or 30 by 30. It was I was going to be able to build. And a 30 by 30 wouldn't even put the boat in there.
Yeah, right.
And so, even if it's 30 by 40, that's only 10 foot for,
Sure.
for room.
Yeah.
How much, hang on, let's see.
So,
It's over by 1,500 square feet
1,500 square feet. Okay, you're over by 1,500 square feet, but,
with all your accessory structures
Yeah.
combined.
yeah,
but you fit the area. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I drove around in
yeah,
both directions.
yeah, it's,
Yeah, you have several farms out there with,
yeah, and the only house that would be near me would be the people on the south side that wouldn't even see it.
And you're using it for ag.
Yeah,
using for ag.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem. You know, of course, you can't use it for, you know, a second living quarters.
No,
There's a
okay.
document that you have to sign on that. So with that,
Now, I might be putting a cot out there and a sleeping bag, all right, during birthing time.
and the other
Yeah.
other critters. too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
As long as you're not profitable.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Okay, with that, I'd like to approve DV-202426. You're approved.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good
All
luck.
right, thanks.
Next case is DV-2024-18, applicant Sean Schultz, location 554 East, 150 North, Valparaiso, Washington Township. Zoning is A1, A1. Acre is 1. Request to allow reduction in side yard setback from required 30 feet to 10. Proposed 30 by 40 pole barn to be used for personal storage. Okay, folks,
How are you?
good.
State
Good.
your name and address and the reason why you're requesting the variance.
Sean Schultz, address 554 East, 150 North, Valparaiso, 46383. I just need storage. The variance needs a 30-foot setback. It would set it on top of my septic. I just don't have room.
You guys are also zone A1.
Yes.
Yeah, they have 2 acres, right? No,
An acre.
1 acre, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
All right, so for personal storage,
Yep.
that's it?
That's it.
Okay, so public hearing, anybody want to speak in favor? Seeing none, anybody want to speak against or any questions? Seeing none? Close the public hearing. I don't see an issue with this except your side yard setback. You got pine trees. on it.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna be awful close to those pine trees.
Well, I'm probably screwed up. It's probably closer to 15. It's going to go straight off my driveway.
And well, that was my question. Why can't you kick it over a little bit? I know you have a drain there for your gutter. I seen the drain for the gutter.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a little bit. I just wanted to keep it in line with it.
Well, I know what you're trying to do. You still can, you know, yeah, well, I mean, your door won't be in line. You know, you have a door in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's gonna be kicked over. I really think you should kick it over. I
5
think you're gonna have issues with those pine trees.
Okay.
How much your house is gonna look, I think it's gonna be,
Yeah. So what are you thinking, 5 feet
yeah.
extra?
15 feet from the side yard?
Yeah, I'll say five more feet would help you.
That's fine.
Now, you might have to move that drain, but that's simple. It's your gutter drain.
Oh, yeah.
Your pop-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's not a big,
you're far enough away from the septic,
yes.
so you're fine.
Yep.
So can you live with that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. All right. With that, I'd like to approve case DB-2024-18. It's approved for personal storage and approved for,
They need to make sure no business,
yeah,
no
no-
living, and sign a
yeah, you
letter.
heard, yeah, he'd sign all that, no business,
Yeah.
signed letter commitment, and the side yard setback would be 15 feet.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you're approved.
All right.
You have to
Thank you.
change that on the plans when you go up to the office to get your building permit.
Just change it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 10 to 15.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. The next case, DV-2024-220, applicant was Wendell Rubiska, hoping that's Rubiska, care of Curtis Hayman and Milmar Buildings, location 546 South 300 East, Couts, Morgan Township, zoning is A1, acreage is .73. Request to allow for proposed 30 by 40 pole barn vary from the following codes. First, to allow for an increase in maximum floor area. Second, to allow a reduction in side yard setback from 30 to 15 feet. Okay, sir, state your name and address.
All right. Curtis Heyman with Milmar Buildings, address 324 North Cleveland Avenue.
And Wendell Rewersma, 546 South, 300 East, Couts, Indiana.
And we're here asking for the variance for setback. It's currently A1. All we're asking for is since it's under 10 acres, to meet their residential required setback of 15, just because the property's not wide enough to meet a 30-foot setback. So we'd like to meet the residential required setback of 15 foot to place it. He does have his septic field going in the middle of the property, out the back of the house, so that would limit us moving it over any farther. And then the square footage, he would like to keep the existing lawnmower shed, which I think we're only over about 160, 100 square footage. So he'd like to keep that for the lawnmowers instead of putting it in the new garage, since the property doesn't have a garage.
Okay. Okay, that's it?
Yeah, I was just gonna basically use that for a garage. And then, like, I've been kicking the idea around about a boat and store that in there just to keep my cars out of the weather.
Okay, okay. It's a public hearing. Anybody want to speak in favor of this case? Seeing none, anybody want to speak against or any questions? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. I do have a question. I was trying to cite the side yard building line. Okay, you got the trees there. Is it beyond the trees? Where's your side yard? Because I seen a junk car and some other debris in
Oh,
that corner.
that's the neighbors.
Okay, I thought it might be the neighbors. Okay, so it seemed like you're awful tight, even with the 15 feet.
There's really no other spot to put it.
I'm sorry.
There's really no other spot to put it.
Okay.
I guess, what was your question? Sorry.
Do you really have 15 feet?
Yes,
Okay.
we do. Your front, he's asking kind of where the.
I mean, you have the,
At the pole, if you're looking at it from the front of your
Oh,
property, where your line is.
Oh, from the pole, that pole's a foot inside my property line in the front. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, I just was trying to cite, the telephone.
Yeah.
There's no stakes there, for the property.
Right.
I understand you're not required to do that. But I just walked off with my tape measure, and you're pretty tight. Are you sure did anybody survey that? Or are you just going by,
Just the original survey from when I bought the property.
And using that telephone pole is kind of our point for
well, see,
reference.
that telephone pole is inside your property, right?
Yes.
10 foot. You may not have 15 feet. So the only thing I asked, I would grant that, I don't have a problem with that, but I think you're gonna have to check. Because it's gonna be, if I approve it, it's gonna be at 15 feet, not 13 or,
Okay.
okay, it seems a little bit tight. Does it say, is that a survey? That's, yeah.
That gym car that's back there, is that
Did you-
on your property or is it on?
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That junk car is over into his property. He's just,
Okay, see if.
yeah. So that's why it looks like it's
Could be-
closer.
If your neighbor's car is over in your property.
Right,
Right.
that's why it looked,
Illusion that, hey, you don't have enough space.
correct.
Yeah,
right.
and that line of trees are they're on my property.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All I'm asking is check if you
Yeah.
have the 15 feet.
Well, we went out.
Oh, you need it, you're tight out there. Okay. But like I said, my line of sight, you didn't have 15 feet, so.
Yep.
Okay. With that, I will approve case DV-2024-20 for the 30 to 15 feet setback, with understanding it's only for personal storage, can't be used for a second living quarters or a business.
Correct.
You have to sign a document. So you're approved.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Next case, DV-2024-22, Stephen Carroll Walker, care of Crow and Abonamark. Location North 350 East, Valparaiso. Zoning's RR, Rural Residential District. Acreage is 30 plus. Request to allow reduction in the distance between an existing driveway and intersection for a proposed one-lot administrative subdivision. Okay,
Hey, good afternoon. Yes, with Kroll Marsh, 111 East 3rd Street in Hobart, Indiana.
Chris Walker, 887 North 400 East, Valparaiso, Indiana.
We come before you guys for a reduction in the distance between the intersection and the existing driveway that has been there for over 30 years. The current requirement is 200 feet, which we do not meet. But with the driveway being there for so long, without incidents that we know of, that we're asking for this reduction.
So what will you be?
Right now, it's less than 160. It's around 160-ish. We have photos if you want to see where the 200-foot mark is and where the existing,
Yeah,
if you guys would like to see those.
yeah, okay. It's about 160?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
You're
did
fine.
measure it too.
Yeah, I did too. I measured yesterday. I came out real close to 158.
Yeah. It's about 160.
Yeah,
We, like I said, the picture, the pole on the picture is 200. The driveway's been there for a long time without incidents. If we do go to the 200-foot mark, there's a culvert and other things that would be disturbed with the natural drainage and other things. So we're just hoping to keep the existing driveway where it's at, this one lot subdivision. It's only gonna be one house.
okay. All right, public hearing. Anybody want to speak in favor? Yes, sir. You have to come up and state your name and address, please.
Right ahead.
Right there, sir, yeah.
Can I just pick it up?
Yeah, we'll pick up your voice. You can stand up.
Henry Olszewski, I live on Old Suman Road. Do you need an address or you?
Yes, yes, sir.
797 Old Suman Road. I've been there since '79, okay, and walk my dogs almost every day down Suman Road. So I got a long view of that intersection right there. That intersection is at the bottom of a long decline from 400 East. 400 East is a half mile up the road. It's all one long stretch down. You're probably familiar with it, I guess. I don't know. But and there's a curve in that road. So it's not like a long stretch where you could see down that whole length of half a mile of 6. Well, when people are making a right-hand turn coming from the east, they have to make that turn fast sometimes. Sometimes you might have a 18-wheeler behind you. You might have a long string of cars coming down that long stretch. Then you got to make that right turn. I've seen people make that right turn really fast. And I think that's why. They want to get off of 6 because they got traffic coming. And they're going 55 miles an hour or more. So that's I'm not voting yes or no. I'm just giving you an idea if you're going to make the decision, so you know what that environment is like right there, okay? So that's the lowest point from 400. Nice long stretch, and it's not straight. You got to bend around that thing, and I've seen a lot of accidents on 6, not for any particular reason, but there's been accidents there. But that's the only concern. People making a right-hand turn really fast. I know that driveway's been there for ages, but no one's lived there. See, that's just big empty lot. There's nobody on that driveway, maybe once every 2 weeks at the most, or even longer. There's nobody living there. So I'm just saying, if it gets busy at that driveway and you got some people flying around that corner, it's,
Good point.
a potential problem.
Oh, it's a good-
That's all I had.
it's a good point.
I'm not voting one way or the
Yeah,
other.
I understand. Well, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to speak for or against? Yes, sir. State your name and address, please.
Robert Jackson, 909 Birch Lane, Valparaiso. What, I agree with the gentleman, but it's a blind intersection.
Okay.
You can't see east or west. Sometimes when you pull out, the traffic is right on you. By shortening that distance, you're just going to increase the possibility of more accidents. I live in Whitethorn Woods, and there are continuous happening rear ends of cars trying to turn, left into Whitethorn Woods going east, because the cars coming up over the hill, which is part of this whole road of Route 6, appear there suddenly. There is nobody out there looking at speed. And by the way, when the prison opens up, the $1 billion prison that they're putting out in Westville, that road is going to be covered with cars. I know between 4 and 5, I see all the guards doing the Indy 500 up and down Route 6. I think that's a very, very dangerous corner, and anybody who's ever gone there, even at night, there's no lights there. It's a very hard, 350 is very hard to get to, and Suman Road is hard to get to. If you go out there and stand and look, you can't see the cars coming. until you step out and then boom, you're too late. It's right on top of you. I've had a couple of near misses in that area.
Okay.
And you got guys coming up behind you as you're trying to make a left turn onto 350. And they don't look like they're gonna stop, and that's what happened in Whitethorn Woods. They didn't stop and people got critically hurt. And I just think it's a very dangerous area to start messing with that and putting more traffic and more people in that area.
Okay, well, thank you. Anybody else want to speak? Anybody want to speak? Sure, ma'am. Yep, come. State your name and address, please.
Mary Ellen Spate, Tratibus Road, 362 Valpo. I just have a question. There's going to be, I got the letter, but I don't understand what a administrative lot is in a
A
subdivision.
buildable home for a residential.
Okay, I didn't understand the subdivision, because I thought,
You'd have to come upstairs, we can explain it all to you. It's
Oh.
how many times your parent parcel is divided. Depends on what it's called.
okay, so it's going to be, at this point in time, one residence. Okay,
And with administrative, they would only be allowed up to 2 lots.
Oh.
They both would have to be 5 acres.
thank you.
Okay, we have a letter from one of the residents also, Henry Miderick. He's against it too for the same reason, safety issues. So, okay. It's back to you. Want to answer those questions? Or?
The concerns that were presented to us in this case are all about Route 6, not 350. My client is willing to make sure that the sightline distances meet or exceed the necessary for the driveway for when they're coming in, entering and exiting their driveway, that they have a clear and full view of that is necessary to make a safe movement onto 350. As stated by the petitioners that came in to speak against this, most of their complaints are about Route 6. We don't want to even mess with Route 6. We're just trying to keep the natural resources the same, not affect the drainage, and also make sure that we have safe entry in there.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing right now. What would be the issue if you located a driveway on the other side of the culvert? I know there's a county culvert, okay, coming across the road. Wonder if you want the other side of that. What problem would that create?
There's a natural drainage that flows underneath the ground right there, and there's a big drain, and then there's wetlands all through there.
Now, your culvert's plugged up. I see you got both.
No, not ours. But I'm saying the
Well-
water would flow through where you would have.
No, I seen a large county culvert.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Why can't you put your driveway on the other side of that county culvert? You're on this side, you're on the south side of that culvert, correct?
Correct.
Could you move it?
You could, but it would be a lot of changing of the natural habitat that's been.
Yeah.
And the drainage, I don't know.
Because the
You'd have to
land,
go in front of the drainage board,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't, you wouldn't be able to make that.
No,
No.
because that flows into a major channel from both sides of the property.
and the grade drops down,
Yeah,
if I remember.
yeah. Through the whole property, that's a low.
The grade drops down.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice the culvert under that driveway, your driveway. You got blocked on both ends with concrete blocks.
That's been there, so I don't know.
Is blocked.
So there might be some improvements we need to make for the drainage.
Well, somebody blocked it, before your time, but
Right.
they put concrete pieces on the south side and they got mesh or some type on material on the north side. It's blocked almost
That-
90%. So I don't know how.
Talking about that hoop or whatever that was there
Well,
on the big culvert.
On the large one.
The county came out because there was a spill and they put that there just in case.
Okay, that was.
Yeah.
oh,
And they asked if they could leave it and I said, yeah, go ahead, leave it.
Okay, all right. And, okay, so you're around 160 feet. What's our requirement?
200.
240 feet difference.
And we did go back, and this driveway's been there from, we could tell, at least 2005. And there were vehicles on it over the aerial that we've seen, so somebody's been utilizing this property for
Yep.
years.
We hunt there and then keep up because it's in the Department of Natural Resources Forestry. So we have to do certain things to keep it up to their classified forestry.
Okay. I would feel much better if our highway department went out there and survey it for safety. The residents brought up a good concern. I'm not saying I'm against it, but I would feel better if they did a line of sight or whatever it take. Because they're correct. I mean, the traffic comes down and a semi's right behind you, you do turn in there quickly. And I was concerned when I turned in there. Okay. But you're talking, what, 40 feet difference? That may not make a difference, but I like to have it checked.
Do you want it contingent?
Yeah, contingent. Okay, on a site survey, is enough feet to stop? When are you gonna start constructing? What's your,
We're waiting on all of this stuff before we even,
They're still going through the process.
yeah, we're still going through the
Drainage,
process.
oh, you're still going,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, they
This
couldn't
is-
move forward until they knew where the driveway could be located, if this was.
Okay,
gonna
so we won't slow them down.
You-
No,
still
we'll
going
still
through.
work, we'll still be reviewing
Okay.
it, but it's just a matter where the driveway's
Yeah.
gonna go.
So, okay, your residence gonna be up on the hill?
Yes.
High spot, yeah, that's what I thought. I walked up there and seen that. Yeah. You're kind of stuck, you know, I think. I don't think you could put it on the other side, I don't think, but I'm not the expert.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, if we could, I'm gonna continue this case, and you have time.
Continue or contingent upon the
well,
survey from the,
What do you want?
Martin works in my office, he would be the one, or Rob, doing the
Okay,
site
this-
survey.
It's doing contingent, okay, yeah, it's a surveyor, so yeah, there's no other option, or it's safe, then it'd be approved.
If our highway department.
Highway department.
Okay.
Okay, so it's contingent on the highway department approval
Okay.
for mainly safety, that's my concern.
All right.
If it's not, if they reject it, then you have to come back. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay,
And we'll get that in writing,
okay, so anyway,
review, highway department's review. Okay.
okay, case DB-2024-22 is approved with contingent of the highway department approval for the safety issue.
Thank you.
A driver location for safety.
Thank you, guys.
Okay? Good luck. Next case is DB-2024-23. Hooray Contreras, location 554 North, 212 West, Valparaiso Center Township, RR, Rural Residential District, acreage 1.48 plus, request to allow for a 236 square foot increase in maximum floor area for a proposed 14 by 24 shed intended for personal storage.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is George Contreras.
You say George? I wasn't sure
George.
how you pronounced it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Jorge in Spanish.
Okay,
Yeah, 554 North, 212 West, Valparaiso, 46385.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just looking for more storage is all.
okay, all right, okay. Your print here, I'm a little, before we get started here, I'm a little confused. I was there yesterday, and the pole barn, it's there already, isn't it? Is that, are you building another one, or a shed?
Shed,
right?
yes, yeah. I had,
How did that happen? How did, before you get approval?
I thought that because it's not a permanent structure, I didn't need a permit until she told me, she said, well, you should call and find out to make sure. And so that's what we did, and here we are.
Okay, public hearing, anybody speak in favor of this? Yes, sir.
Todd Christian, 565 Foxborough. I'm just behind, west of him. And that was my question. Is this the new shed, or is this going to be another shed?
No,
It's the blue-gray one.
yes.
Okay, well, that's already built, so I guess that's beside the fact. My
No,
concern,
not really, not really.
well, my concern is that we already have an unresolved flooding issue right now. I have 8 inches of water in my backyard, and building more property right now, where buildings is going to displace more stormwater.
Yeah,
That's going to just add to the problem. Now,
Yeah.
if that gets resolved, this is not an issue. And I don't have a problem with the shed.
It's on,
But-
it's on center,
oh,
Yeah.
no,
it's not,
And we don't talk to each other?
I'm sorry.
Everybody's
Oh,
addressed to the board, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, okay.
It's okay.
Is
All
the,
communication comes through us.
okay, the flooding, is that the same corner where the shed is at? Where's the flooding?
The flooding is right along the dash line. I'm 254007,
Okay,
and the green dash line, that's where the water is holding. Yeah, right there.
well, that's where, I did see some yesterday.
Yeah, like my yard's unusable.
It's close to the shed,
Yeah. Well, it's,
yeah, well,
yeah,
I think the whole backyard floods. Yes.
yeah, that's what we're dealing with now. I'm just concerned that more structure would just displace more stormwater, just
Yeah,
compounding this problem that's been going on.
yeah,
But the shed I have no problem with. And
Yeah.
if it's on cinder blocks, that's
Yeah.
really not even affecting a drainage issue.
Do you flood every storm or,
No, this is something new that started last year.
yeah?
I'm not saying it's,
Oh, no,
it's because of him. This is,
yeah,
we don't know what the flooding issue is.
yeah,
It's held water for some years, but
Yeah.
last year it started, like I said, I have 8 inches of standing water right now. It's a swamp.
okay,
But concerning the shed, if it's on blocks,
Yeah.
so be it.
okay,
That's not gonna affect the
all right.
drainage.
You're more concerned about the drainage, as long as it doesn't affect the drainage.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we're not, and I didn't know if it was that current one or if we're gonna put another one that would even,
Yeah, I was confused too,
Yeah.
so, okay,
but the shed going up, no issue.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
Contact our stormwater department also?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to lawyer now.
Oh,
Yeah,
just making
But-
sure.
yeah. It's been a, yes.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Any other comments from the public, for or against? Okay, seeing none? Okay, so how did the shed get there before approval?
I had no idea I needed a permit. Like I said, because it's not a permanent structure, I thought it didn't. So she told me, well, we don't know, so you better call and find out. And so we did, and I was told that I did, and that's why we followed through with everything that we need to follow through with to make sure that it's all permitted and good to go.
How many feet is he over?
236.
236.
And I guess the setbacks are right. I didn't know
I
it was
don't,
already there.
I don't know. I don't, yeah, he has, I'm going to continue this case. You have to bring a plan, the setbacks, the side yard setbacks.
Yeah,
And then I'm probably going to ask our drainage department to go out there and take a look at the drainage. So I'm going to continue this.
okay.
Yeah, I was surprised too, so,
Yeah, I did submit a plan with the building department.
yeah. You kind of did this backwards, you know.
I did.
Yeah.
I do apologize. I had
Okay.
no idea. After she found out
Yeah,
that I did, I figured, well, let's do things right and follow through with everything that we need to.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to continue case DB-2024-23. I'm going to have the drainage engineer come out, and I have to come back out, look at the side yard. Is there a plan? Did he submit a plan with the
Yeah, it's
side yard
probably
set?
in the office.
I did, yes.
Okay,
But it's, I mean, it's not really.
yeah, I see that. I see the handwriting, yeah. Okay. Okay,
But maybe you can.
I will
can
stop
give
back
you-
out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that, okay. Yeah, I stopped when I seen it, I didn't know what was going on, so I didn't measure, so,
I apologize.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't
okay,
know.
maybe, that happens, okay.
But we want to do things right. We want to make sure we follow through with everything,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Okay, so it's continued until I come back out there in the drainage department, I'll look at that drainage, make sure it doesn't affect the flow of drainage to your neighbor.
Yeah, it does not.
Yeah, okay.
It's on center blocks. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's about 6 inches off the ground.
Yeah,
You know, it's,
because it was wet, the yard was wet.
yes, we've had a lot of rain. Yes,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of rain. And if you notice, it all slopes down towards the end of the
Yeah.
yard.
Yeah,
You know, and I got an acre and a half, so I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of room for everything. It's all fine. I have no problems.
okay. So anyway, it's continued until
Continue the next meeting.
okay,
The next meeting?
next
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay.
We'll
and-
contact you when.
You'll
when
contact-
when-
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
okay. Next case is DB-2024-24, Christopher Akins, care of Calvin Snyder, location is 31 East, 600 North, Valparaiso, Liberty Township, zoning is R1, low density, single-family residential district, acreage 3.94, request to allow for a new single-family dwelling to be built behind existing accessory structure. You're on, sir.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Kelly, or Christie. So I'm here on behalf of Chris and Kelly Aiken, who are my clients, and wanting to build a house on a piece of property that's got an existing building on it. The building is too nice to tear down, and so they're asking for a variance to be able to put the house behind the building,
Okay.
which is a considerable ways behind where the building actually is.
How far, how many feet? Okay.
It's probably, I'm guessing, I don't have that measurement with me, probably 400.
Yeah, But down their house in front, the ranch house, matter of fact, with the previous owner, I used to work on that house for that lady.
Okay.
Her name was Mary MacArthur. I used to work on her house.
Yeah, that's all funded, that's on a different,
Nothing, this is the other part, it's not the same parcel.
no, different parcel.
Okay.
Yeah, so the parcel that they're building on is parceled off with the old barn on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One house?
One house.
Okay. But rest of the land won't be subdivided?
No,
No. Okay, just one house. Okay. Anything else, Calvin?
no, that's it.
Okay, public hearing. Anybody want to speak in favor? Well, yes.
Say
Uh,
your,
I see your name.
address all your concerns to us and say your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Scott West, 619 Meridian. Is this in the blue square then, or the green square?
Blue. Right here. It's gonna be built behind here. This is the shed, or the pole barn.
It's way in back. There's a ranch house in front. This is beyond that.
Is that no longer their property?
What are you talking about?
The house in front?
No, it's subdivided. It's only the blue square. Monica, please stay on the blue square so you can see. Yeah, that's the only one we're talking about right now.
I didn't know there was a second house behind it.
No, there's not.
There's not, there's.
Oh, so it's just a pole, it's just a barn?
It's a
Right.
barn. It's a pole
They
barn.
want to build a new residential home behind that barn. We don't allow pole barns in the front yard, so they have to come for a variance. That's why he's here.
Where would access be from the road?
Same way he's going in now to the pole barn. Step extended to a house behind there.
See, off of 600.
Calvin?
Well, I'm just wondering, because that's just. their
Same
property.
driveway, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The MacArthur house just has a single narrow driveway. They would be using the same drive then?
Same driveway.
Okay.
And, well, and I don't know if my opinion or whatever, how much it counts. My main objection is to the natural corridor for the animals coming from the lakes all the way over to 700, really.
Okay.
Would be affected by it. I didn't know that they had broke up that property. I thought that was all MacArthur's.
Where do you live from there? Off of Meridian?
Directly left of that arrow.
Okay, gotcha. Off of Meridian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, actually, the next one up.
Okay.
So a little above that, so those two long. My neighbor's actually right here is that one.
Okay.
Do we have any idea how big this house is, or?
It meets our codes.
Yeah.
We have to check it as long as it meets codes, otherwise you'd have to come in front of this board again.
It could be pretty big. Well, that's all I have to say. I do object on those.
Your main concern is the animals, the deer, or what, yeah.
And the entire place, you know, we're building a lot of houses in Valpo, and it's nice to have some corridor.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have, and it,
Yeah.
you know, the more we break it down. I mean, I understand though if that's somebody's property and they built something there. Like I said, I didn't realize that they had divided that up. But yeah, that's my comment.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, anybody else for or against? Yes, sir.
Jason Dudley, 617 Meridian Road. My property is adjacent to the proposed building area. I'm more worried about runoff and rainwater and stormwater from the new build. We have a ravine that runs, I think it's the Mariana Ravine, that runs through there, and it's kind of, it's just a concern. Not knowing building plans or anything like that, I'm just trying to see where they're putting it. And so it's single family, two properties on a 10-acre parcel roughly. They used to shoot there. Is that still happening, or is new builders, doesn't matter?
We don't
Okay, we
control
found-
that anyway,
Okay.
the shooting. You'd have to call the cops if you have issues with that.
Well, I don't have a problem with them doing, I was just concerned with there being two properties. Now, is the front property going to be, since it's too nice to destroy, is it gonna be rented out? Is it then,
Okay, we address those. Yeah, ask your questions and he will respond.
okay, excuse me. Is the front house, the existing house, is it gonna be used as a rental property.
Ask all your
No.
questions.
That's it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Sir, you had a...
My name's James MacArthur. I live at 33-600 North. You know where I
Oh,
live.
yeah, I know, you're right next door, neighbor.
I've got a couple things. I'm not against my neighbor building there. That was my aunt's home and property. As far as the wildlife going through that area, I own the 27 acres next to it. It's gonna stay wide open between Camp Lawrence and Rogers Lakewood Park. Nothing will change there. The animals, I'm not ever gonna do anything with that land except ride my dirt bike and shoot my guns on it and not at the animals. The one concern I was gonna have is any runoff at the back of that place. There's a lane that goes, that I've driven you on.
Yeah, you showed me, yeah.
Down to where the creek that runs through there, which is the runoff from Rogers Lakewood Park from Spectacle. Is there gonna be any additional water coming down into that low spot? It's already low. And through the excavation, is that gonna divert more water down to my lane to access my backfield? That's a question that I have.
Okay, he will answer that,
That's
yeah.
something I would like to have looked at. Like I say, I'm not against my neighbor building a house there. And the other, I'm here on behalf of a few neighbors. There's an additional 29 acres behind this parcel that they're not getting into. Will that property be able, would someone be able to get in there and split that up eventually and do more building
They could.
the way it's set up now? Or is this the end of it? Because my 27 acres, I've been told if there's one structure built on that, that's it, you're done.
No, you can subdivide until you get to you can do a major subdivision.
Well, I don't have a huge access to come into my property, so I was told that I would be able to build one house. That would be it out of 27 acres. I couldn't split it in, which is fine. But I'm just asking for future, that other 29 acres that they have, can that be, in the future, be split up into a subdivision? You're saying
Could.
yes.
It could. I can't say it can't.
But it has to meet a lot of requirements too, septic,
Because
well,
you had
and,
someone looking at this property.
you-
one of your
you're-
relatives,
years
and it
back.
was gonna-
yeah, years back,
I drove you through it.
yeah.
And
I
at that
think,
time, it couldn't have been done. That's why it didn't get sold to a developer. That's why it was.
If I remember years ago, it was looked at like three parcels. Because the soil's a problem. Like,
This
you just
actually
have- you-
sits on like 5 parcels.
I don't know how, I'm not sure how they,
It's all chopped up,
yeah,
I
I'm
think,
not
in
sure.
a group. But for future, they can still subdivide this if they.
You can, yeah, you could, and you could go for waivers if you don't have enough road frontage, or if you don't have, a second drive or whatever, so.
I don't see that being their plans.
No.
Well, no.
Just
No,
like-
but I'm just telling you that, I'm not ruling it out.
It's just like you could divide yours too, your 27 acres, but it has to meet all these requirements. Septic is a big issue. You don't have the best soil conditions out there, as you know.
No, it's.
No,
it's
yeah, so I,
Very little buildable on my piece.
Yeah, I
Very
don't-
little buildable, and I don't want to build there.
no, right.
Okay, that's pretty much all I have. As far as the house and
Drainage.
they can rent that, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not-
It's, I mean, there's no restrictions on renting property or Airbnbs or anything at this point, from what I understand, so.
Correct.
All right, well, good luck with your project.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Right there, as long as, like I said, my concern was drainage running off
Yeah.
my lane to make it difficult to get onto my piece of land. Other than that, good luck with your project.
Okay.
Thank you. Time.
Well, it's back to you, Calvin. Answer the questions, if you can, about,
Well, I mean, as far as the runoff, I mean, yeah, I don't know that it's gonna create a whole lot of runoff on the piece of property that we have, as big as it is. The other one, as far as the wildlife coming through there, I live in a subdivision, I got an acre lot, and I've got deer coming through my backyard all the time, so the house isn't gonna stop any wildlife coming across that property.
How big is the house you're gonna build, Calvin?
It's, I think it's about 2,500. It's a ranch,
okay. All right.
yeah.
Does he have to go through drainage control for one house?
No, I think they look at it, but he doesn't go through drainage control now.
No. Can you look at, because he's right, there's a spot there that you showed me years ago. That you,
At the end of that property? Right where that little drive, where you can kind of see a drive there, is that where he's talking?
Can you point out where you, is that one corner? Yeah, shows.
I mean, if it's blowing up, you can see.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
You're to the right.
There's this whole other field up here. This is my field, and this is low. It goes down here, and there's a lane that runs right off of this corner.
Yep.
It goes down. See where the creek is? Goes across the creek and then comes back up. This is a little bit low. There's some water that collects here from time to time. This is the lowest point. If you divert more water, you're going to create a small area there that I'm not going to, because I don't have a hell of a lot of room on my property to come through here as it is. If you fill this full of water, I won't be able to cross there to get to my back piece of property.
Okay, all right, we will look at that. Okay.
I don't know if the culvert would help at that point. I don't know if they're gonna
I don't know.
divert any
I
more
remember-
water than
I remember
is already
the issue.
there.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it next to possible for me to get through there.
Yeah. Okay,
And I don't want to bring, I've got options. I can bring a dozer in, I can push that, but now if I do that, I'm gonna create trapped water on their property.
Yeah.
I want to get along.
right. No, we take a look at it.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem, so. Yeah, I know that property well. She worked for that previous owner.
Okay,
Nice piece of property out there.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, and there is a drainage issue in that corner. So I think we should have the drainage engineers at least look at it. Because you don't go through drainage review for one house.
Unless you want them to, I mean, that's a cost on the citizen. If you want calculations done, they would have to submit it with their plans, showing that the runoff's gonna be less and not increasing if they build a house.
I'd like to see us just do a site
I mean, is it-
visit.
Doesn't like, that get approved by, the erosion control? That's one of the steps that, the step process is, that they're gonna get approved all the way until erosion control by Amanda is approved. On all new single-family residents, I see all those emails all the time.
Yeah. We can have someone go out there and check it out.
Yeah, let's just,
So does that area, it doesn't drain? It just simply has to dry up?
does it ever drain?
It's dry now, I can go through there. But sometimes it holds water, and if you put more water at it, I wouldn't be able to get through there. Well, before it was my aunt's property, and when there was water collected there, I didn't even know where the property lines were. I would just drive around through the field and head down onto my property and get through there. Well, now, you just had it surveyed, and I know where the lines
Oh,
are.
yeah, okay.
And if there's more water there than what I've had in the past, I would just drive around it in the field because it was our family's property. But now it's not.
That all drains to the north.
Yeah,
So it's 2,500 square feet of space when it's draining. It's a pretty good downhill slope.
yeah.
I can't imagine that that's gonna make a whole lot of difference, because most of that water is running down that hill anyway. The 2,500 square foot that we're gonna take up isn't gonna absorb a whole lot of water on a downhill slope.
It may not.
Isn't there a pool involved in this project?
At a later date, yeah.
Okay, because I looked at the plans and I thought I'd seen a pool. Well, now it's not just a house. Now you're creating out another area to put a pool. If I'm looking at the same thing you're talking about, it's more than just a house. There's gonna have to be addition. I'm assuming you're gonna make a pool in level, so you're taking up more excavation than just a house. And at that point, are you diverting water? That was my only concern. Are you diverting water onto my property?
We're gonna have the engineers at least do a site visit, see if there's an issue or not, okay? Because it's only one, it is only one,
I'm trying to address these questions.
yeah, it's only one house, but we're gonna take a look at it, so make sure we don't add to the problem.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Mike?
If I think what you're saying, would you make it contingent upon an engineer just?
I'm gonna make it contingent, that's what I'm gonna do, yeah.
You wouldn't have to do a full stormwater plan like
No.
other development?
Just a site visit from engineers and look at the topo and see where we are.
Or we could just tear the barn down and build a 6,000 square foot house, and I wouldn't even have to be here.
You wouldn't have to be here if you did that.
Yeah, that's a good point, really.
No different.
Yeah, but you're here.
I am.
Okay, all right. So I will make a motion to approve case DV-2024-24 contingent on the engineering doing a site visit and looking at the topo and make sure this project's not adding to the neighbor's drainage problem. Okay?
What's this gonna add? How long is this gonna take to get accomplished? Since we'd obviously like to start tomorrow.
Well, it's probably not gonna be tomorrow, Kelvin, but we'll have someone get out there as soon as we can and have a look and see what the issue is, if there's any
Okay.
issues at all, and
We try to expedite it.
All right, appreciate it.
You really want to start that soon? Are you ready?
Well, we would like to start, yeah, definitely in June,
In June?
sometime in June.
okay,
Okay.
we'll make sure.
So,
it happens.
okay,
We'll work with
all right,
All right.
thanks.
Good luck. Okay, next case is DV-2024-21, applicant Porter County Commissioners, location Porter County Highway Garage off of State Road 2 and Heavenland Road, Valparaiso, Center Township. Zone is IN, Institutional District, acreage is 6.79. Request to allow a proposed new highway department facility to vary from the following. First is height standard, minimum height requirement is 26 feet and 2 occupant floors. Next is landscaping standards, greenbelt, minimum required depth of the greenbelt is 100 feet long frontage. Next is parking standards. Parking is prohibited between a structure and the right-of-way of any adjacent streets. Next is build-to line. Minimum build-to line on a primary arterial is 100 feet along Heavenland Road and State Road 2. Next is perimeter landscaping standards, planting, buffering, mounting, fencing requirement of the entire site. Next is facade, specifically section 4 and 5, four-sided architectural and wall planes. Next is roof. Next is mechanical and utility equipment screening. Next is dumpster and storage screening. Next is placement and accessory structure, cold storage, close to the right-of-way, then primary structure. Next, entrance and drive, general for proximity of proposed entrance to another entrance and location to intersecting streets. Next is fence and wall, commercial fence height and fence material and location. And lastly, buffer yards. Unless, you're on.
I'm Landon Grog with A&Z Engineering. Address is 1220 Ruston Pass, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Andrew Waugh with Martin Riley, Architects Engineers, 2847 South Woodland Hills Drive West, Warsaw, Indiana.
Okay.
So which one do you want to start with?
Large project, it's on you right now. So.
All right. We'll start off with the primary structure. The height standards, so that's 3.05, F.1, point A, point I. The height standards, the minimum height requirement is 26 feet and with 2 occupied floors.
Yeah.
The proposed building, the minimum height that we have currently right now with the parapet is 18 feet, 2 inches, and it's a 1-story for the office or admin building out there. I don't know, Andrew, if you want to touch a little bit more on that.
I mean, it's, we were trying to keep things compact and ADA accessible. The county's needs didn't necessarily have a large enough square footage on the office size that we felt that it was worth trying to make an entire second floor and add elevators and things like that. So we were trying to keep everything on the 1-story.
Your name and address for the record, please. Did you state your name already? Oh,
No.
you didn't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Okay, I was make sure we have, because we're having the minutes done up and
Recorded.
she's not here.
Yep.
I have to remind myself and, okay.
So it's, I mean, we even, on that office, we actually even extended the parapet taller to hide the rooftop equipment that's behind there for screening. So
That's,
Okay.
I mean, I can keep talking. The second one for the primary structure is the minimum built to line on a primary arterial roadway is 100 feet. That's 3.05 K.2A. The proposed office building is approximately 92 feet away from, so it's within that 100 feet.
Yeah, okay.
The next one, we'll just move over to the accessory structures. Section 5.20A, the maximum structural height of an accessory structure is 30 feet. We're asking for a variance for the salt barn. Currently, I think our proposed salt barn is 35 feet, 4 inches. And correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, but that kind of gives the contractor some play, just in case they don't go with the exact design that we have. They still have some wiggle room to work with that salt barn.
What would be the max height, you think? Okay.
I mean, it'd be fairly close to the
Yeah, just give me
35 feet.
What,
I mean,
what do you need? 40 feet or 30? I know
I-
new design.
I mean, it's basically a barrel vault.
Matter of fact, the new
structure.
design you see now on some of the highways are a little bit lower, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, part of it was when we were filing this, I think we were still trying to work out that corner of the property a little bit.
Okay.
But the overall building height, just to get the salt capacity that we needed, we were trying to keep the building width to 60 feet. And just with the other aspects of everything we're trying to get on the site, we couldn't really lengthen the building, which would have.
Yeah, so you're limited. You want to go up, yeah? So 35 feet, is that what? I mean, that's what you need. And
Plus or minus 6 inches, probably. Yeah, just probably 36 feet.
I'm going to say no higher than 38. Is that fair, or should I say?
That's
40?
that's fair.
I don't want to lock you in where you can't, you know, I don't want you to come back here. Can't do it, so 38 or?
I mean, let's see. If you put it at 38, we should be
Just
fine.
make it
40, you know.
Round. There we go.
Round
Yep, we'll just do 40.
Okay, that way we're safe, okay?
Let's just.
Yeah.
All right. The next one I have on here is for the fence. That's section 5.17, C, D, and E. The maximum height of the fence that's currently out there exceeds the 4 foot that's allowed. I think our proposed fence right now is going to be 6 foot.
6 foot.
The material of the fence is a chain link fence to match what the existing is out there. So we're asking for a variance to allow that.
Of course, no screening, just a chain link. Yeah.
And then the last one was the new fence that we're going on the north side and east side of the property, and some on the west, is just going to be a chain link. It doesn't have barbed wire, but we're trying to incorporate the existing fence as well. And that one has barbed wire, so it'll allow a variance to have that barbed wire still out there for the existing portion. Next is the landscaping, section 3.05 G.2A, landscaping standards for the green belt. The proposed green belt is less than a minimum required depth of 100 feet along the entire length of the frontage for Indiana 2. Currently with the plans, we do have the office building is encroaching within that green belt as discussed before, and we also have some asphalt pavements, so a parking lot and a drive approach in that. And with the location for the parking lot and that, the drive approach that's on the north side, that's to allow trucks to enter on the south side of the maintenance building and to be able to pull through the maintenance building and then come out on the north side.
Your parking spots, is going to be the same or?
We have 20 proposed parking spots. Talking with the county, that's the max, or with Jim, that's max people that they have on a shift. Actually, it's a little bit more out there. And then throughout the rest of the property, there are some other areas that allow for. Next one on the list is the buffer yards. We're looking at a variance for the buffer yard along the south property line and the east property line. The south property line has a property that's zoned as a heavy commercial. And then the east property line has a property that is zoned as light industrial. In my past experience is normally it was when you have a higher class of zoning that goes in, that's when the buffer goes, but we're not changing the zoning that's out there. There's already kind of some established greenery that's.
So there's some buffer there
Yeah,
already.
and on the east property line, there's Salt Creek that separates those two properties now. So we're just looking at, there's also along the south property line, there's an existing storm sewer system that was originally installed. We're not looking at touching that because it's still in good shape, utilizing that, and if the buffer yard was to be enacted, then that would have to be ripped out and replaced. The next one is the entrance, so section 5.10B.2A. 2 or more entrances shall not be permitted to be installed within 100 feet of each other along a collector street, which is County Road 50 West. So currently on the west side of the property, there's an existing entrance, which we're planning on maintaining. We will just have to replace the concrete that's there through the construction process. But then we are looking at adding a drive approach just north of there. From center to center, it's about 76 feet. And that north approach is for trucks to enter the truck parking facility and then for other people to access the office building.
So let's stop there. The semi, where will your semis be coming in at? Which entrance, your semis, entrance for semis?
So they would still have that access off the west. They would come in on that the south approach on the west side, and then they also can come off of State Road 2 on the north side of the property.
I guess I'm questioning just the turning lane off of your back entrance. I'm not worried about Route 2, but you have buses going there for the school, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there enough, if there's more than one semi, what happens?
Well, I guess, Jimmy, you can, if you want to speak on that. And
If there's, are you talking like our dump trucks or big semis?
Both, yeah. Is there more of a turning lane, I guess?
Well, and what we propose is there's enough, there's enough pulling off of Hevlin before they get to the entrance of the building.
Okay, that's exactly, how much, I guess that's what I'm asking, how much turnoff to get off of Haviland?
These are current, these are existing. These are existing.
Oh, okay,
These are all existing.
okay, so there's enough now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have plenty
You're
of
not-
decel.
You're not changing it?
no, we're not touching any of the roadway.
We're not parking over here, so you're gonna
Okay.
have more traffic. You're right, because there are gonna be more traffic coming here, because they're gonna
See-
have to park over here.
See, that was, I was concerned about the,
Right. But we did have
coming in.
Martin, our highway engineering
Okay.
is already looking at this also.
Okay.
We've had a meeting with
Okay.
him.
But you understand my concern, I want to make sure. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna be increasing the number of trucks going in. It's gonna be
Okay.
as it is now.
And there's not a problem now?
No.
Okay, that's it.
And then off of State Road 2, I know you didn't have a concern, but we did check, there's enough room that a semi can pull off of State Road 2. That way it's not stacking up traffic for where the proposed fence is going
Okay.
and gate.
Yeah, because Hevlin is a posted overweight road. There's a 10-ton limit or 12-ton limit on Hevlin, so any overweight vehicles, semis, delivering aggregate materials would come off of Highway 2.
Highway 2, okay. Okay.
Next one is the parking standards. So section 3.05J.1, parking is prohibited within the required green belts and between any structures and the right-of-way. As you can see from the plans, we have parking that's in between the roadway and the building. Next one is the dumpster and storage, section 3.06C.1 or point I. Currently, the dumpster is in a depressed area along the east side of the property. It's built into a hill. But to access that dumpster, they access it from the south side. We are proposing to flip that so the drive access is from the north side, because the existing conditions is the semi-truck can come in there and they can make a loop, but with the proposed aggregate storage bays, salt barn, they can't make that loop anymore. So by switching or flipping around so it faces the north, and that semi-truck can come in, back in, and then pull straight out. So it still will be in a depression, so it's not going to be sitting above ground where it's an eyesore sitting out. So we're just asking to not have the enclosure gates for it. And then the last three are for the building. I'll pass those over to Andrew. So section 3.06C.1.c, wall planes allow wall spans over 50 feet in length without a break in plane. We do have breaks in plane, but not within the 50 feet increment. We have several different distances between those breaks, but all over the 50 feet. So we're asking for a variance to go above the 50 feet increment. 3.06C-G, there's a few items under here. Minimum overhang width. With the type of structures that we're planning, we wouldn't have overhangs. We would have, the office area would be parapet walls, and then the other portions of the buildings would be pre-engineered metal buildings without an overhang. Roof pitch, wanted to reduce that to allowable to be 1/2 and 12. It'd still be sloped, but keep the building mass a lot smaller than if we had to go with a steeper roof pitch. The slope planes allow 2 planes instead of the 3 that were indicated in the ordinance. So we could just have straight gable roof shapes. A variation in roof line. We have some of the building masses are over 100 feet in length, which was the issue we were having. We'd have to break up functionality and the different spaces to, if we were to limit it to 100 feet. And then the final architectural item was 3.06.C.H. Basically exposed mechanical equipment. For the most part, top equipment over the office is all screened behind the parapet. You shouldn't see it. This one was, we have some louvers on the north side, and for at the wash bay for the ventilation for the equipment for exhaust gases. And then there's kind of up high on the west facade above the office height, there's some exhaust ducts, not equipment, but just hoods coming out the sidewall that would be visible.
Okay.
That was the last one I had in my
That's
list.
fine. You're okay, good. All right, turn it over to public. Anybody want to speak in favor of this case?
Tough crowd.
And anybody against? I'm sure none. Okay, so thank you. Just for my clarification, my understanding, why do you change the pitch on a roof from 1.5 to 12, the pitch?
I mean, just for the 1/2 and 12, we honestly, we thought we were trying to, one, not have it be real flat on the pre-engineered metal buildings, but.
So you raised it, is that what you did?
I mean, the standard is more like a 1/4 12 for a lot of those.
That's what I was wondering, why.
So, we just thought the massing looked better. I mean, we're pretty deep on some of those buildings, so it's a long stretch of roof. We don't really want any variation to where there could be water held up there on the metal.
Plus you get a longer life. Yeah. what, 20 years or the life of the road? So put TPO on it or what type of?
No,
Metal.
for the office, I believe we were TPO, but for the metal buildings, it's a metal roof.
Metal building, okay.
And I think we're calling for a minimum warranty of 20 years and hopefully get longer than that.
Just curious. Okay, well, thank you for that presentation. So basically, I don't have any problems with this. I walked the site, was it yesterday or day before, and I seen the site. And do you have any questions on it? Or, no? Mike, you have anything? Looks good. So really, it looks good to me. The only change is we gave you 40 feet height on the salt bed.
Yep.
You're flexible and you're good with that.
I'm more than happy with that.
And when are you going to start building this year yet?
I think we're going advertisement here early next week.
June.
Are you joint? Okay, get out for bids. Okay. With that, I'd like to approve case DB-202421. It's approved as submitted, except for 40 feet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Large project.
Thank you.
Guys will be busy, huh?
I spent 2 years at it before I retired.
I thought you might stay longer.
Thank you guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Yeah, good job. Okay, that's all. Anything else?
We haven't.
In person, not yet.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Hold this for,
Well, and then my wife always.
That, one that's already,
one with
Calvin,
Calvin.
we can close the public hearing.
You wanna make that a note?
Oh, I didn't close it? Oh. I didn't close it?
I'll just put the case number, say,
This is an exciting project.
I don't
We're
know.
going to say close, the public hearings.
Yeah.
The public hearing's closed for case DV-2024-24.
Thank you.
It's closed.
For the record.
I'm sorry. Keep me straight.